welcome to my channel. This is gonna be quite a difficult video for me, but this is really just my experience. Okay, I am here not to actually brag, to say that yeah, this happened and I was better at it or whatever. I'm just here to actually give my story and be able to explain, or just to say, to let people know how I actually feel now, and you know, just looking back at what I've gone through in the past. Right, hello guys. It's always so great to be back here and have a chat with you guys. I've actually been thinking about this for quite a long time, whether to share it or not. I know not everybody has gone through what I'm going to talk about, but there are people out there that have gone through what I have gone through, and maybe even worse. But I just thought that as I've got this platform, I might as well talk about it in the hope of helping somebody come to terms with their situation, or feel that not all hope is lost. I actually thought that when I started my YouTube channel, I was actually going to confront a lot of things that I haven't actually spoke about much. I just feel that this platform has made me kind of like open up and see the bigger picture of what me speaking out would actually do. You know, I'm hoping that me speaking about this is going to inspire people and maybe help them feel that they're not alone, and also have some sort of hope, you know. I hope. I really hope so. Anyway, I don't actually know how to even begin this topic. Most of you don't actually know a lot about me, actually. Well, I am married, and I've been married for like 13 years, and this is going to be our 14th year. I come from an African background, and family is everything, isn't it? As a young child, I think, believed that one day I will be like my mom, you know. I will be like my mom with children, and yeah, being the mother and everything. Growing up, I'd never actually really thought about marriage. Marriage wasn't really at the forefront of my thinking. I used to get a lot of pressure. I didn't get married because honestly, I really didn't want to get married at the time when people were expecting me to get married. So, you know, the more people talked about getting married, oh, when are you getting married, and da da da, I just wasn't ready. So anyway, eventually I got married, and everybody was like, yay! Like, oh, finally, you know. Once I got married, as soon as I got married, everybody now wanted to know when I was gonna have a baby. Conceive during your honeymoon, and pressure. you know. Anyway, and I wanted to enjoy my honeymoon. Just felt, was that too much to ask? Towards the end of that year, I was feeling not too well. And I remember my sister saying, maybe you are pregnant, maybe you are pregnant. And I remember at the time thinking, really? I didn't plan for that. We did a pregnancy test. So when it came back negative, yeah, I felt a little bit, I don't know, something inside me. Like, oh, that's what actually led me to want to start trying. I've always felt young anyway. Maybe, even though I was in my mid-30s, I didn't feel the rush to actually have a child. A year on after that time, nothing happened. And then I was having really bad cramps, so I decided to go to the doctor again. The doctor decided to actually do a scan. And when he did the scan, then he told me that you've got really big fibroids. That's the bad news. And then he says the good news is they're outside the womb, but really like clogged up around my fallopian tube. And that made my fallopian tube blocked. And so they removed that tube, and then he said it might actually be really, really difficult to actually conceive. It is good that the fibroids are not inside the womb, but the fact that they're affecting other organs that actually help in the reproductive system, it might be really, really difficult, or maybe impossible. And he said, I'm just going to keep it 100 with you and just tell you how it is, because there's no point hitting about the bush, you know, when it comes to somebody's life. So I might as well just let you know so you know what to expect. So I said, all right then. So, you know, I was going through all these things and never told a single soul apart from my husband. And even during that time, people kept asking me and bugging me. So when are you going to have kids? You should be having kids by now. Oh, by now your kids would have been this and that. So anyway, yeah. So I just carried on, and I had an appointment with the doctor again, and then the doctor said, oh, what about if I put you on the IVF list? Because at the time I was almost at the age where more or less the cutoff for being eligible for IVF. And the doctor said, well, you've only got like a year before you can decide, or you can make up your mind if you want to go on the IVF list or not. But I think you should go on it so you can give yourself a chance to be a mom. I think he thought this woman, does she even want to be a mom? I just said, okay, if that's what if that's what you feel is the best for me to do, yeah, I'll go on the IVF list then. Because I think everything was going so fast, and I just thought, oh, whatever. So I agreed to go on the IVF list, and the whole IVF journey started. That is a story for another time. I mean, it was such a difficult time. just the intensity of the IVF program was crazy. But at the same time, even when I was put on the IVF list, I didn't have to, I had to wait for a while before the treatment commenced. Then we started the consultations and everything, x-rays, scans, what have you. And everything seemed to be going to plan. Until one time, all of a sudden we were told from all the tests that they've done of me, they've found out that I didn't have enough eggs for them to actually do the IVF. So really, that is when now I just felt really disappointed and discouraged, because we had put in so much with these consultations, the tests, the everything. And we just thought, for me, I felt like maybe finally we're going to get to this point where now everything might kind of like fall into place, you know. And yeah, so that just threw a spanner into the works, that when they say that. And I just thought, I don't know. At the time, I started thinking, does God really wants us to have a child? I think at that point, I felt really disappointed, actually. Really disappointed about everything. I was hopeful at the start of it, and then those hopes were just crushed. So anyway, that was a big disappointment. We went back home not knowing what to do, and then after a while they wrote to us saying they had removed us from the IVF list. They said the only thing we could try is donor eggs. All of a sudden, after a week or two, we got a letter, them saying they've removed us from the IVF list because it won't just work, because they didn't have a donor system. So anyway, we went there and spoke to this doctor, who also said, oh, I'm so sorry, we can't help you because da-da-da. We were both quite disappointed that we had gone through all that just for nothing, really. Then this doctor we found, he was really good, and he said, okay, let me see what I can do. They said, what we're going to do is we're going to refer you to a private clinic in London where you can actually have donor treatment, but we'll only offer you one cycle. So we went and started the treatment. And then the pregnancy test, it comes out negative. That was the worst bit. To be honest, I was at my lowest at the time because I'd gone through all that and my hormones were quite high and everything. It just broke me. I just felt really bad. They did say that, oh, it probably didn't work, maybe because of you have a lot of fibroids anyway. So what we can do is maybe you should go back to your doctor and ask him if they could actually remove your fibroids, and then you can come back, because we still have some embryos left. So yeah, so that's what I did. Went, got the fibroids removed, and then after that the IVF people said you have to completely heal, maybe about 6 months. After 6 months, and so you can come back. We waited for a year, and then after a year we went back. And that, for us, me and my husband had already spoke and said that is the last chance saloon for us. That is the last. If this doesn't work, because we'd gone through so much emotion, we said if this doesn't work, then we're going to stop it. Then that's it for us. So we went back. We did it. It didn't work. This time, it was just like, now it's finito. And I wasn't prepared to go through this again. That emotional roller coaster. Even at this point, it was me and my husband going through all this thing, and a lot of people didn't know. People just kept saying, oh, so what about you? Don't you think of having kids? I just used to say, no, I'm good, thank you. And yeah, and then that's what happened. So it didn't work, and honestly, I was actually, it felt like grieving, just without, I didn't want to involve too many people. But my husband has always been my rock, and we got through it, and a bit of counseling and stuff like that, from the practice where we did the IVF, and yeah. Then I remember saying, why don't we just adopt? My husband said to me, no. He refused. He said, I think right now you can't make any decisions. You're very emotional. I said, no, I know what I want. I'm really sure this is what I want. I had made up my mind then that, yeah, I wanted a child and I was ready for it. Now that it hasn't worked, I want to adopt. My husband wasn't so sure about it, and after a while he came around to it and he said, you know what, whatever you want, if that's what you think you want, fine, we'll do it. And we went to our local council and we inquired and everything, and we were approached by the adoption agency, and they invited us for the open day, and everything started off from there. We did the training, adoption training. We did all the stages that we have to do. We even reached panel where they have to assess to see if you're suitable to be parents. We got through that. We were approved as adopters. Everything just went perfectly well, though it took a while because the adoption is also quite a long process, which is also a video for another time. So we did everything that they asked us to do, and just the process itself is exhausting. It is very a difficult process actually. It's not that easy. But we went through it. We were determined to do it. So it was tough. We used to have meetings upon meetings with a social worker. It was a waiting game. And each day I prayed to God, Lord, if this is what you want for me, for us, we're going to have this baby. We're going to have a baby whichever way. But if you just said, this is our life without a baby, without a child, then so be it. So be it. Honestly, at the time, I was ready for anything. And we continued. The more we went on with our quest for adoption, the more I thought about it and prayed about it. And one day, I just woke up and thought, maybe it's not the right thing for us. And honestly, this voice I just felt like something was telling me that maybe that's not the right way for us. At the beginning of the program, I was so optimistic. But all that optimism just went, and I just started thinking like, why am I doing it? I started asking myself a lot of questions. I just thought that, you know what, Lord, thank you so much for everything that you've given me. if you've decided for me not to have a child, so be it. I'm a strong believer in God's purpose. I'm a strong believer in God's will. I'm a really strong believer that God controls our lives. I'm really a strong believer that God will not give us something if He doesn't think it's the best for us. So, all these things that come into my mind, and I started thinking, I have been struggling all these years to get one thing, and it's not happening. Whichever way I go, it's not happening. I have learned to believe that blessings come in different ways to different people. We cannot all be blessed with one thing. I believe I am blessed in so many other ways, even though I'm not a mom. So I truly believe myself that I think it was just, I don't know what other people believe, but because I believe in God, I feel that maybe it was not my portion. And so I just want to tell all my friends that are going through this that it's not the end of the world. God has blessed me with so many other things, I tell you. I cannot even count them all. I have actually accepted that I can't have my own child. Like, I'm alright with it now. I'm fine with it. Though I did go through a time when I actually wanted it, and a lot of times I asked myself, did I want it for me, or did I want it for people because so they could stop asking me? Did I want it because I felt that that's what makes you a woman, to bear a child? Did I want it for my own selfish reasons, or did I want it really, really from deep down my heart? So really, once I actually decided that, okay, that's it, and I'll just accept this situation and just thank God for all the other blessings that I've got. Honestly, I got this I got peace in my heart after that decision. I don't feel like I'm missing something. And a lot of times I think you can only miss something that you've had. If you know what I mean. I feel like you can miss something that you've had, because some people would say, oh, you don't know what you're missing for not being a mom. But you can only miss something that you've had. If you've never had it, how can you miss it? It could just be, like that. That's what I feel myself. Maybe it's different for other people, but I just wanted to share this story and just say we are all blessed in different ways. It doesn't mean that if you're not a mom, you're less blessed. Look at everything around you and see your blessings in those things, and thank God for all those things that you've got, even though you don't have this one thing. Because honestly, each day I thank God for my life. I thank God for everything that I've got. God Himself works out things for the better for everybody. For me, this is my story. And honestly, I'm alright. I'm okay that I'm not a mom. And I'm just here now enjoying all the other blessings that I have. And I'm just here now to tell my story and hopefully help somebody else to see things differently. We are blessed, guys. We are blessed, child or no child. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. And I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. And guys, if you've got any experiences regarding this issue, or anybody or anything that you want to say, please comment below. This is an interactive channel. We enjoy discussing things and talking about stuff, and just sharing our experiences. It's always nice to share experiences and to see how other people cope with certain things, and that is how I coped with my situation. If this actually makes sense for you and resonates with you, please comment below, and life still goes on. Life goes on, guys. Anyway, guys, honestly, thank you so much for watching, and please click the notification button so you can be alerted next time I post a video. Also, like this video if you found it quite interesting, inspiring, and motivational, and if you've just enjoyed watching and listening to my story. And also, guys, please share the video if you know anybody that this video would help. Yeah, so that is me, guys. That is me. Anyway, please, guys, remember before you go, remember to subscribe, guys. Subscribe. Subscribe, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching. God bless you. And it's your girl, Lilac Glo. It's your girl, Lilac Glo. It's me, Lilac Glo. Bye.